I am kind of thirsty. Let's see. There's the nice cool jug of water, the apple juice, maybe some orange juice. Easter Sunday, 10:30 p.m. I mean, I did successfully complete my water fast. And this apple juice is looking real good. But you know what? I think I'll pass. I've been down this road before, and it's all too familiar. Water, essential for human life and non-human life. Now, me being obviously a human being, I wanted to reap and learn the benefits of drinking water. Strictly water. And what better time to do it when it's your time to fast? Firstly, let's begin by understanding the meaning of fasting. Fasting is to abstain, to go without. This work is often a great, deep, and humbling spiritual reflection and a faithful reconciliation. Because this energy and intentionality requires internal and external work, this action is a verb. Now, if you have never fasted, then you may not understand the truth and power behind what I just said. And that's okay, but you will understand the day that you decide to grow. You'll understand that growth may require elimination, and then, as a result, replacement. Common things that you may struggle with will no longer be a struggle, no longer be common. So at the moment, during this time, it is actually Holy Week. Today is actually Easter Sunday. And it's also the resurrection of Jesus Christ himself. And to add, it is the ending of my 40-day, 40-night fast, Lent fast.
I took it upon myself to fast longer, however. I abstained for another 3 days and 3 nights.
Now, this happens to be my first ever fasting. I was given the orders to fast with my hydration of nothing but water. Now, I've had difficulties with soda, juice. Now, I would still be drinking my water. Like, it wasn't like I was just water deprived. I wasn't intaking as much water as I needed. So as a result, I felt my body just plummet into a negative shift. Like, I was slower, I wasn't sweating as much. I was starting to get cramps, unnecessary cramps. My body just wasn't reacting as a regularly hydrated person who drinks as much water as they're supposed to daily was supposed to react. And over time, I noticed it. Over time, I noticed I became more addictive to the sugary drinks. And again, it wasn't like I was just excessively addictive or just disgustingly, I gotta have a soda. I gotta have a soda. It was not like that. I would never let myself get that far. For one, I understand the importance of staying properly hydrated. And for two, I understand that is nothing but sugar in a bottle. However, I was choosing sugar in the bottle more frequently than I was finishing my 1 bottle of water a day. It just became unfamiliar with me because I've never been the type, oh, you can go get me a soda. You can go get me a juice or something like that. I've never been the type to prefer that. I've always drank water simply because the household I was raised in, get you some water. Me, I'm West Indian Caribbean. So the first choice coming from our family background would be water. Like, you don't need all that juice and soda, is too sweet. You know what I'm saying? That's not how we was raised. So after I've fallen victim to this Americanized lifestyle where, the health isn't as vital as it should be, the food, the juices and things like that, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to notice certain things and traits about myself that I really do not respect. Most importantly, it just wasn't good for my skin. It wasn't good for my hair, it wasn't good for my skin. That stuff would stunt your beauty. It would stunt the beauty of your body.
What made it easier to accept fasting as a relief instead of a punishment?
I'm wasting money for one. I'm dehydrating my body, inside and outside. And I'm ultimately not satisfied because that addictive sugar tolerance is only increasing. 50-cent soda that I buy, it becomes $1.50. You know what I'm saying? Now you got 3 sodas in a bag, you know what I'm saying? The more 50-cent sodas that I buy throughout the day, several times a day, my sugar level has now increased. I have now developed an addictive taste on my tongue. I have now developed an addiction. I have now developed symptoms that when I am ready to get rid of that addictive lifestyle, I have to go through sugar withdrawals. This goes to the food as well. However, I've always eaten clean because, if I'm hungry, I don't want to just fill up on chips. The food was never really an issue for me. It was always, let me get a cold soda. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some juicy juice, apple juice, orange juice, which is one of my favorite things to drink. I drink apple juice with my meals. I drink orange juice with my breakfast. As far as a soda, I'll probably go with the Mountain Dew and or Sprite. However, now that I've realized I am developing certain health habits that I do not approve, okay? My skin was breaking out. I was not with that. My hair, it was just like, it was just dry, and it's just certain things that I noticed about myself, my body, that I was just not, no, I'm not with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not willing to continue to walk around like this. Like, oh, give me a soda. Let me get some juice. Man, come on, man. Nah. So one morning in church, this was the beginning of Lent, the beginning of the actual Lent process. I was listening to the word, and my pastor, Pastor Darius Daniels, over at Change Church, he was preaching Lent and its existence and how it will benefit you in your relationship with God and Jesus Christ himself. Even though it may be Catholic, it is still a pathway to develop a closer, stronger vessel with the Lord. So he was going over that and giving his religious words. And in my head, I was just like, okay, I would like to try that, because that's another way that I was unfamiliar with to step and walk with God. Any way possible, no matter what it was, I was willing to do it, because I wanted a bond. I wanted a unbreakable bond, stronger than ever. My Lord, my Savior in Jesus Christ. I wanted our bond to become just ultimately stronger. I wanted growth. So I said to myself, whatever way it is, let's do it. Like, I'm with it. Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your girl, Barbarian Beauty, and I hope that you guys are enjoying this vlog, this well put together video. I hope that you guys can relate. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. However, I didn't know what I needed to fast from. Like, I was just like, do I fast from meat? Like, do I just stop eating? I was not aware of how, this fasting transition goes at all. I've never done it before. So I was just like, damn, like, should I stop cursing? Like, is that how it goes? Now, mind you, just a side note, there's different levels of fasting. You can fast from anything. It can be negative energy. It can be from cursing. It can be from food, water, social media. And these are just general things that I've learned over time that I've heard people distance themselves from. However they were told to do, or however, they had enough in them to do successfully. Yeah, so those things. However, I was just like, man, like, I can stop doing all of those. Like, how does this work? Like, what? So me being confused, I assumed that God sent me a message to help me ultimately relieve my confusion and benefit my health. Because during this time, I knew I was going to be outside more. I knew I was going to be in the sun more. So I knew I was going to be dehydrated if I did not change the way how I drank, hydrating myself properly. Daily. This was going to be a way that I benefited from the water, my body benefited from the water. I feel better, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can actually think. I don't have a tasteful spot on my tongue for something so low as sugar. natural sugar, not something as a fruit where I can receive the same type of juices from. But something with sugar, calories, and just bullshit, like colorization, dye. So that's when everything shifted for me. During my fast, I didn't understand what actually came with the fast. I'm thinking I'm just, no, I'm good. I'll just get some water. No. This is actually a step to reveal your loyalty and reveal your weakness. It's going to reveal everything. It's going to pull everything out of you. At least it should, because if it isn't, then you have to reevaluate your purpose and your vision along those 40 days and 40 nights. You have those conversations where you find yourself questioning, why am I doing this? Is this value? Is this worth it? If you haven't found yourself asking those particular questions, then you haven't really dug deep into your fast. You're just going with the motions. You're just going with the motions, man. When I found myself getting agitated and aggravated, and there's actually sugar withdrawals in your mouth and in your body, it's just like you start moving and shit, like you start, you know what I'm saying? Like you start getting upset about shit that don't even freaking matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, I think I'll break it. I think I'm gonna break it. I think I'm gonna break it. When you start getting presented by those, you realize, man, I done came so far. Then you have to remember the importance of why you're doing it, to gain closer to God, Jesus Christ, religion, faith. So I said to myself, I was like, okay, no, you tripping. You tripping. For real, get your shit together. This is nothing. This is all I was asked to do. This is not that hard. So after those weaknesses passed and, I became stronger. When I mean stronger, I mean stronger. It became exciting. I would put myself in situations where I would be forced to stare, and maybe maybe at work or something in the break room. There's, machines there with snacks and a soda machine. I would sit there and just stare at the machine. As I'm eating my food, as I'm eating my fruit juice dripping from my lips, my apple, got a nice bite to it. You know what I'm saying? Got a nice bite to it. That was another way of me facing my weakness, but more importantly, realize that it's better out here. It's better out here. And I can get that. I'm smacking right now. Excuse me. But I'm just saying. It's better out here. Let me put this down, you guys, because I'm trying to get my point across. It's better out here in different forms, okay? You just have to choose. Yes, there were days and nights where I wanted to cut my fast. Just break it. Especially the days where I was confused. Especially the days where the devil was riding me. I was aggravated. I was hot. I was thirsty at the time. Go to the corner store, get me a nice cold Gatorade. I'll just do it again some other time. I'll just start again next year. Man, I'm not with that. I'm not with the games. It's either we gonna do it or we not. I don't got time to be going back and forth. I don't got the interest for none of that shit. I'm not with that shit. Once I'm committed, especially when it comes down to my king, I try my best. You feel me? And that's just what it is. It may not be the right thing, but I'm going to crawl if I don't know how to walk towards him. That's just what it is. Straight up. That's just what the fuck going on around here. Straight up. So I took it as a no-nonsense thing. I didn't play no games with it. Of course, I was tempted. I was tempted. I was tempted in ways that the non-believers would not believe. I would go to the grocery store on my agitated days. I would walk down the aisle, at least attempt to walk down the juice aisle. But these particular days, I was just so thirsty. I was just so thirsty. I couldn't even walk down the full aisle. I was not willing to do it. I just walked away. I go to a next aisle, maybe the chip aisle. There's an apple juice sitting right there, like in the chip aisle. Okay, all right, the devil wanna play games. And I peep game. I'm no fool. Okay, let's just get out of here. I go to checkout. There's an apple juice at checkout. This is no lie. I turn the corner, I look away from it. In stores, they call it end caps, where they stock certain items, maybe at a lower cost, maybe the holidays. There's an end cap full of apple juice at a lower price. I'm like, yo, like, what's the issue? Like, you really trying to get me today, huh? Those days are the days where you have to push yourself past your temptation. You got to push yourself for a few reasons. One being that it'll make you stronger. It'll make you stronger. You got to believe it's going to make you stronger. And for two, you got to understand that the devil is riding you. You got to understand that. You have to understand the devil is on your ass and you cannot give in.
Now, I just know y'all still with me since the beginning of this movie. I know y'all still rocking with me simply because y'all probably going through the same things that I'm exposing in the midst of these great transitions. Whether you want Lent, Ramadan, or simply after personal goals, good job. Like, for real.
That's what's up. A day before Lent would be over with. I had went grocery shopping. I had went and picked out a nice, decent size, nothing too big because I knew my body wasn't going to finish it as before. So I picked out a bottle of apple juice and a bottle of 1 serving orange juice so I can make it with my breakfast. It's heading into the next day. So Lent is no longer Lent. I could have been cracked that apple juice open and poured me a nice glass of apple juice that I thought I so desperately wanted to drink. I have not opened it at all. In fact, it's not even like a real desire anymore. Like, it's just like, oh, it's there. Like, oh, the orange juice is not even open, and I did have breakfast. I had me a nice breakfast. So I have this conversation to say, you can do anything you put your mind to. That's it. You just have to know what you're doing it for. You may be not making the best decisions for your life. But that shit sound awfully close. So I'm gonna wrap this video up because I don't know what the fuck is going on out there. I'm gonna cut these lights off. With that being said, y'all keep y'all head tight, y'all keep y'all mind sharp, and stay out the way.